Website for everybody to see, for anybody who wants to see what's going on, for all the school districts in the state of Illinois. All school districts are given a financial profile. And there are 5 things which they base the financial profile. I'm going to preface this by saying we have a 3.9 score out of 4, which is recognition. It's the best score you can get on a financial profile. So what are they looking for when they ask and give us a designation as to how we are doing as a school district financially? So the first measurement is a fund balance to revenue ratio. Now, we have multiple funds, but for this particular measurement, they use only the education fund, the operation building and maintenance fund, the transportation fund, and the working cash fund. They do not include capital projects, tort, life safety, and some of those other ones. So they take those fund balances, and these are all audited numbers from our auditors from last year, so this is as of June 30th, 2018. The total fund balance from those 4 funds is $11,891,000, and the total revenue that we had for those funds for last year was $13.5 million. And basically, that's saying that we have 88% of our revenues in our fund balance, which gives us a score 4 out of 4. And also, let me interject, if anybody should have any questions about any of this at any time, please feel free to stop and ask any questions. So we move on. Okay, what's the second thing they want to take a look at just to assess the health of a school district? And that is the expenditure to revenue ratio. Are we spending more money than we're getting? Are we spending less money than we're getting? One of the challenges for our school district and many school districts in the area is that we are cash basis. So cash basis means that if we receive a deposit on June 30th, it'll go for that school year or that fiscal year. If we get a deposit that goes July 1st, it goes for the next fiscal year. So, because June 30th is our year end. So sometimes the differences of expenses and expenditures to revenue is timing. But for the most part, what you see there is our total expenditures for last year in those 4 funds was $12.1 million, and the total revenue was $13.5 million. We basically spent 90% of those funds, which gives us a 4 out of 4 score. And again, some of those expenses happen, in the summer and are paid in July, so there's always some carryover. But from 7/1 to 6/30, that's the score that we have there. The other is the day's cash on hand. Okay, what is our fund balance, and how long would we be able to sustain ourselves if not one more dollar came through the door? Based on the numbers there, we have 354 days of cash on hand. That gives us a score of 4 out of 4. For item number 4, they want to know the percent short-term borrowing. So sometimes for school districts that are financially, especially if they have a real tight budget and they need to pay bills and they know they have tax money coming in, and it's a timing difference, then they can take short-term borrowing. We do not have any short-term borrowing at this time, so it's 0, and so we have 100% of our short-term borrowing max remaining, and that also then gave us a score of 4 out of 4. The last category for the financial profile is, the other numbers can be good, but long-term debt, for instance, in 2017, we passed a bond for $1.2 million to help pay for the roof and to help pay for some of the upcoming expenses that we had at Nathan Hale with the bathrooms. So we borrowed some money. There's been some other debt that the district has incurred in the past. But as of right now, we have 4.6, when I say right now, as of June 30th, 2019, we have $4.6 million in debt. We are allowed to have $9.1 million of debt, which means that we've used 51% of our long-term debt. We have 51% of our long-term debt margin remaining. Should the need arise, should some large expense come up, for whatever reason may be, we would be able to borrow, the difference there of almost over $4 million. That gives us a score 3 out of 4. So for that particular percent, 51%, I think, I've got to look at those numbers, but pretty soon we'll be getting a 4 out of 4 out of that as well. So overall, the fiscal year 17 profile score, we were at a 3.9, and with fiscal year 18, we are still at a 3.9, which gives us recognition. So again, again, the story that we told earlier, we are trying to maximize the things coming out of the tax dollars that we get to keep these buildings safe, to secure, to provide the programs for our students and staff to help us be the best possible school district that we can be. So moving on, so this next one, I'm sorry for the small numbers here. Okay, so basically this is historical financial data. It helps to see where have we been and where are we going. For 2019, the top row is our beginning fund balance. Again, that's our cash on hand for all of our funds. Earlier I was showing you the financial analysis had 4 funds. This is our fund balance for all of our funds. We started the year with $13,054,000 in our fund balance. We expect for this next year to have a $15,535,000 of revenue. Expenditures are $16,962,000 estimated, which looks a result that gives us a $1.4 million deficit. If you look at the previous year, we had a deficit of $433,000 had we not floated that bond to help pay for the roof and the bathroom projects. So it was a good move for us to do financially to keep our fund balance healthy. Otherwise, last year we would have ended up, we would have about 11.8 fund balance. But because we passed the bond proceeds to help pay for the capital projects that we've done, we maintained our healthy fund balance, as you see at the 1354. This next year, if what we are trying to do is we're trying to pay for the capital projects without issuing any more bonds. So if you look under 2017, you saw we did the Heritage roof. It was a $1.5 million project. Now, if you remember, we passed a $1.2 million bond, so we did pay some of that out of our fund balance. But also in there, we have technology. In the last few years, we've gone one-to-one. With the Chromebooks, we've got the Wi-Fi upgrades. We've just done a lot of things, software, using things to maximize our student achievement. Curriculum, we've upgraded multiple curriculums as far as science and math and English and social studies to try to, again, provide the best resources possible for our students. And then facilities and maintenance. We are constantly looking to upgrade to make sure that the buildings and grounds are safe, that they're healthy, that they, appearance-wise, they look good, and they are able to provide for our students and school community the best possible education that they can. So this is all these things are coming out of a lot of these capital fund projects. You see in 2018, we redid the Nathan Hale bathrooms. That was approximately $1 million for them to rehab and do everything that they did. Again, the bathrooms in that place were 40 years old, so they needed to be upgraded. They look very, very nice if you haven't had a chance to see those. This year, we had a huge project. We've completely revamped the food offerings for our students. We've gone with the vended meals made fresh daily to make that whole process and to achieve that goal. We've upgraded the kitchen at Heritage and at Nathan Hale, completely gutted them. You see some of the brand new kitchen equipment that we have to help, again, deliver the product and the good food to our students. We've already had favorable reviews on that. And then around the building at Heritage, we had some sidewalks that were not necessarily ADA accessible, and some of them were deteriorating, so we really made it a point, let's make sure that the sidewalks around the building are safe and secure and can afford people to get with wheelchair access to get into the school. So we did the kitchen sidewalk. That's about $0.7 million for everything that we did there. And then one thing that we're looking down the road and that will be coming across soon is, again, we're trying to upgrade these older facilities. And so one of the projects we're looking at down the road is to take a look at the locker rooms that are in need of remodeling. So we're in the process of seeing what that looks like, and then we will come back to the board when that information becomes available to see if this is the project we would like to undergo. So with all that being said, the results of operations, well, you're looking at right there, the 0.7, whatever the locker rooms would cost, you're looking at probably $1.3 million, $1.2 million in capital projects that are part of that $1.4 million deficit. You have about $400,000, $200,000 that's deficit for operations. When I do my budget, I look at revenue. You're not always guaranteed the state's going to give you their Cat categorical transportation money. They're not always giving you that on time. You don't always know when the money's going to be coming in, and again, sometimes it's timing differences. So I did very conservative estimates as for revenue and for expenditures. You don't know, we're still in the process of trying to find some individuals for some open positions. You don't know if they're going to have a family insurance plan, or they have a single, what is going to be their pay grade. So they're very conservative numbers as far as the revenues and expenditures, so kind of preparing for a worst case scenario, so that's what you see right there. Any questions from anybody at this point? All right, so next, where's our money coming from? Again, we'll be coming in October with the tentative levy, and then in November, adopting the levy. Where's our money coming from? Well, based on the numbers I presented to you, we have local revenue of about $7.5 million, which is just about 48.5% of our revenue. The state provides about 41, a little over 41%, and the federal government gives us about 10%. What is the federal government money? That's our National School Lunch Program, that's our title grants, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where the money's coming from. So we do get it because of we get a decent amount of help from the state for our budget. So what are we looking at here for our budget? Well, revenues, basically, they're kind of flat. For real estate taxes are very flat. They're very limited by what we can, by the CPI. Other local revenues and such are very flat. They're really not increasing. We got a little boost with the general state aid with the evidence-based funding. Increased our money that we got from the state by $453,000, so that was a bonus, but now that we have that, that's going to remain flat. Last year's CPI was 1.9%, so that's going to limit, of course, the amount of tax dollars that we would be able to ask for in November. Expensive-wise, well, the state is still, tossing around pension cost shifts, that pushing that cost down to the school districts. If that were to happen to us, financially, that could be a tune of about $600,000 a year. And then, of course, we have salaries, health insurance costs. We had a couple of rough years. We're part of a whole co-op of other school districts who take their bargaining power to get the best insurance rates that we can. Last year, we went up only 3%, so it was a good year last year. And then, of course, just again, facilities maintenance plans and capital projects. These are older buildings. We are not building, there's nothing in the works at this time to build a brand new building or anything. So we're taking the facilities that we have now and the grounds to make sure and upgrade them as we go a little bit, whether it's the HVAC systems or whether it's the gym or classrooms or technology to get the Sunnybrook School District 171 to the best possible place. So, where is the story? We come back, all right, I think I've lulled you into a little bit. I started off pretty good, but where does this take us? Well, here's where this is taking us. Again, getting back to, behind all the numbers is a story to tell. These are our students who went to the state capitol as far as the tech team and got to meet with legislatures and meet with other schools in robotics and STEM and everything else going on. And so we have a STEM room, we have the technology for the kids, the software and things. We're so excited about the programs and the things that we're offering and sending our kids and exposing them to. Very, very excited about the programs going on at Heritage. And then, look here, you've got Nathan Hale, just a proud group of students, great achievements, great things going on at Nathan Hale, as we saw with the Excellence Awards that our young students achieved. You've seen many of them come up and present here at the school board meetings. And when we talk about activities and curriculum, we're talking field trips, and we're talking about sports, and we're talking about student council and honor societies. Just the great things going on. I'm very proud to be a part of all of this. And so, again, with the budget presentation, it's leading us to this. And finally, on behalf of Sunnybrook School District 171, we do thank the local taxpayers and the state of Illinois and the federal government for helping to fund our education. As this child with this book says, I am thankful. I know that I am thankful. We are all thankful for the great help and support of the community for the students of Sunnybrook School District 171. And with that is the end of this presentation, and would be happy to answer any questions or comments that anybody might have.
Thank you. Thank you. Take your seats. and to approve the resolution authorizing and adopting said budget as presented, and to authorize and direct the secretary of the board to cause a certified copy of said resolution and budget to be filed with the Cook County Clerk, with the County Clerk of Cook County as required by law. So there's a motion by Mr. Shore, second by Mr. Terrell, to approve the school district budget for the 2019-2020 fiscal year, and to approve the resolution authorizing and adopting said budget as presented, and to authorize and direct the secretary of the board to cause a certified copy of said resolution and budget to be filed with the county clerk of Cook County as required by law. Mr. Shore. Mr. Terrell.
Yes.
Mr. Terrazas.
Yes.
Ms. Pettigrew.
Yes.
Mr. Lilly.
Yes.
And Ms. Ambrose, yes.
Mr. President, that is the end of the budget hearing and budget presentation. Thank you to the public for attending. The 2019-2020 budget for Sunnybrook School District 171 has been adopted as part of this process.
Motion to adjourn the budget hearing?
Second.
The motion by Mr. Lilly and second by Mr. Short to adjourn the budget hearing meeting. Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. We're going to the regular budget meeting.